Man, what's up, family? It's Caden with Urban Finance. This story kind of have me with mixed feelings and mixed emotions, and I'll tell you why. You may have heard about it already. Dr. Dre's daughter said she's living out of her car. She's pretty much homeless. She's 38 with, I believe, two children. Let's listen really quickly to this Breakfast Club interview. I think Angela Yee is speaking about it a little, but let's listen to her first and then we will talk about it a little more. But it's a little crazy. And like I said, I have mixed feelings about it. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section. Is Dr. Dre responsible for her in the sense that should he be helping his daughter out no matter what? Or as a dad or as a parent, do you have to put your foot down sometimes? Now, we don't know the full story, so we can't speak to that specifically, but just let me know what you're thinking. All right, let's listen.
Well, Dr. Dre's 38-year-old daughter, Latanya Young, is homeless and living out of her car. She talks to the Daily Mail. She says she's living out of her car, working as a delivery driver for DoorDash and Uber Eats. That's how she makes money. She said, I have friends and family that will let us come back and forth, but the majority of the time, I'm living out of my car. She said she has not seen her father in 18 years. And she also has repeatedly asked for financial help. She did say that he's helped her in the past. He paid her rent, gave her an allowance, but all of that ended last year in January. She actually is the daughter of his ex, Lisa Johnson. They split when she was 5 years old, and she's a single mother of four now. She said, my kids are staying with friends. They are not living in the car. It's just me. I'm taking odd jobs just to make it. Now I get paid $15 an hour as an assembler at the warehouse. I'm trying to keep my head above water. I've been in debt for a while. And she's also nervous that she's going to lose her rental car because she hasn't been able to make payments.
Now, before we finish, I do find it a little weird that her kids are staying with friends and the friends won't allow her to stay with them as well. Something about that sounds a little suspect to me, but if I was a friend that thought she wasn't the right type of person that I would want in my house, then I may be willing to take care of her kids and not her. But that does sound a little suspicious. Not like she's lying, but it does sound a little suspicious to me.
She said it's an SUV. It cost $2,300 for 3 weeks, and I only paid for 1 week. She said sooner or later they're going to take the car. She also said, as you know, that he has helped her previously, but he told us he won't do anything anymore. I'm out on the streets. I asked him for help. I haven't got a response back from his lawyer. I'm hearing about mistresses that he's bought houses for. It's a messy situation.
Yeah, I mean, obviously him and his daughter's relationship is strained, and he's helped her in the past, so it's not a problem with help. He's probably, maybe he's at his wit's end. Like, you know what, I've done so much for you, you got to figure it out on your own. Me having 3 daughters and a baby girl on the way, I'm going to have 4. I can't see myself doing that, but I'm not in his position or his shoes. I don't know how their relationship is, but I mean, he's probably at wit's end. Like, you know what? I've helped you for so long. You got to help yourself now.
Right. She's 38 with 4 kids. I'm sure if anybody has kids out there and you help them, I don't know what happened.
Yeah, that's the thing.
And she says she hasn't seen them in 18 years.
But we don't know what happened. I mean, there's a lot of situations where sometimes parents say, you got to figure it out on your own. And sometimes kids are able to do it. We don't know that situation. Would I be able to do that?
And he did help her up until last year.
Would I be able to do that to Madison or London or Brooklyn? No. It's just, no. Not my business.
So I have a son. As you can see on the screen, that's my little guy. He is indeed my pride and joy. And so as a parent myself, especially the age my child is at, can I see myself in Dr. Dre's position, $800 million, and not helping out my adult child? Because even though she is his kid, she is not a child. She is 38 years with 4 children of her own. So she is not a child. But even in that position, I cannot see myself not helping out my son. And I do have mixed feelings here because I do have a low to zero tolerance on disrespect, whether that's my child, whether that's anyone else. If I feel that you're trying to disrespect me, that can get you cut off immediately. And so I would say that as my personality. And so I don't know what she did that makes Dr. Dre wants to cut her off. Like Angela Yee said at the beginning, it seemed that, he may not really have been super involved or active in her life anyways, and I'm certainly not saying that's a good thing, but he left her mother when she was about 5 years old, and she hasn't seen her in 18 years. And as a dad myself, I really do not understand how people do not take responsibility for their children. Like I really do not get it. Whether that's a mom or dad, I just don't understand it because, like I said, my son is my pride, my joy, my everything. And I see my life is to pour everything that I have now into my son. And as a parent, I can't even fathom my son ever doing anything that makes me want to, I guess, allow him to live in a car when I'm living a life of luxury, when I have all my finances together. But let's say, my son is 38 years and he just happens to be super disrespectful. I would say that's a failure on my part as a parent. And I'm not saying that parents control how their children turn out, but I'm saying for myself personally, if at age 38 my son feels the need to disrespect me, especially publicly as well, then I do believe as myself as a parent, I fail. You may think differently about yourself, and that's cool. The second thing that I would say is I do have the mentality of by any means necessary, and so I do not judge anyone. And so, as Dr. Dre's daughter, I think she's someone, and I'm going to get a lot of flack for this, I think she's someone that can monetize her poverty. If I was in her position, the daughter of a celebrity, someone like Dr. Dre, I would potentially go on all of these talk shows. The Breakfast Club, probably get Oprah out of retirement on news station, making sure that they give me something to do it. But I would try to monetize the fact that I'm living in poverty, because even on YouTube, to be quite frank about it, misery loves company. And if Dr. Dre's daughter was to create a YouTube channel and talk about how terrible her life is, there are a bunch of people out there that will tune into that just to see her misery. It's honestly a shame, but I'm someone that much rather make money by monetizing my misery than allow my children to live in poverty. For me, it's a mentality thing. Some people just don't have the mentality to build wealth by any means necessary. I know some people are going to be offended by that, but it is what it is. Because if I was in that situation, I would definitely try to monetize my poverty. I'm someone who always think, even when I see people give on Facebook and they're recording themselves giving, and a lot of people in the comment section say, oh, you can't give and record yourself. That's not real charity. To be honest, that person on Facebook isn't trying to do real charity. They're giving in order to be monetized by showing the video of them giving. And to be frank, whether you're for them or against them, they're making money from your views and from your comments. And on top of that, they're feeding someone else. And so there are a lot of people out there who say, oh, you shouldn't give people and record, which I kind of agree with. But the fact of the matter is, a lot of time, the person in the position of wanting the food cares more about getting the food than the person recording them. But hey, you can feel however you want about that as well. So I think a lot of people think about it only from the perspective of what Dr. Dre is or isn't doing, which is a valid point of view. But another perspective is what she is or isn't doing as well. If we can have a conversation about what Dr. Dre is or isn't doing, we should be able to have an honest conversation of what she is or isn't doing. And to be quite frank about it, none of us really know, but it's open for discussion. All right, family, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. This was an interesting story to me because I'm someone that believes in building generational wealth. And the purpose of generational wealth is to ensure that your children, your family, and your community is left in a better position than where you were at. As someone that thinks like that, it's very hard for me to really get not taking care of your children, even at the age of 38. But I also say I don't know what's happening in this situation. And like I mentioned, respect is super important to me. And if my son was to disrespect me at the age of 38 in a manner that I do not think is acceptable, who knows what I would do. I would also say that I'm from a family who fist fights and get over it. And so I would say it would take a lot for my son to disrespect me in a manner that would make me disown him like this, but anything is possible. We saw what happened when Kirk Franklin's son disrespected them. All right, family, go ahead and smash that like button. It really helps out the channel. Subscribe to the page. Hit the bell to be notified of when I post something new. And like I always say, God bless you and remember to live your best life.